Welcome everyone to join us in reading the Holy Scriptures. We hope that over the course of a year, you will be able to read the entire Bible once through. To help you gain a deeper understanding of Scripture, I am providing brief introductions to each book. Before we begin, it is important to emphasize that every book of the Bible was written by a specific author in a particular historical and cultural context for a distinct audience. In order to grasp the original meaning of Scripture accurately, one must be aware of the circumstances in which it was composed. I encourage you to consult background material on each book as you read. Once we understand its original intent, we can then consider how to apply it to contemporary life, first comprehending the text's initial significance and then transforming that understanding into present-day practice. Genesis is the first book of the Bible and one of the Pentateuch. Before we introduce Genesis, let us briefly review what makes a book part of the Pentateuch. The Church believes that the Pentateuch was written by Moses. Certain passages, such as those praising Moses or describing his death, are thought to have been penned by Moses' assistants. The Jews call the Pentateuch Torah. Its purpose is teaching rather than the modern notion of legal statutes and regulations. In other words, the intent behind writing the Pentateuch was to instruct the people of God in knowing Him, understanding the errors committed in resisting His governance, and drawing wisdom from those mistakes to live according to the way God has given them, so that they may enjoy the blessings He bestows in the Promised Land. The content of the Pentateuch forms the root and foundation of both the Old and New Testaments. Therefore, a correct understanding of it is essential for comprehending the entire Bible. Genesis is composed of 10 genealogies. Chapters 1, 1, 2, 3 tell the creation story, and Genesis's 10 genealogies are as follows. Chapter 2, 4, 4, 26, the history of heaven and earth, essentially a genealogy of the world. Chapters 5, 1, 6, 8, the genealogy from Adam. Chapters 6, 9 to 9, 29, the genealogy from Noah. Chapters 10, 1 to 11, 9, the genealogy of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Chapters 11, 10 to 26, the genealogy of Shem. Chapters 11 to 27 to 25, 11, the genealogy of Eber. Chapters 25 to 12 to 18, the genealogy of Ishmael. Chapters 25, 19 to 35, 29, the genealogy of Isaac. Chapters 36, 1, 37, 1, the genealogy of Esau. Chapters 37, 2 to 50, 26, the genealogy of Jacob. In content, Genesis can be divided into two major parts. The first part is chapters 1 to 11, and the second part is chapters 12 to 50. We see that the narrative scope deliberately moves from the macro to the micro, from the creation of the world and humanity's rebellion against God to Noah's descendants through Shem, finally focusing on Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God created the world so that people might enjoy His blessings. After humanity rebelled, God continually sought those who could transmit His blessings. From Seth to Noah, from Abraham to Joseph, God repeatedly used specific individuals to bring blessing to others. The ending of Genesis also foreshadows Exodus, explaining why the Israelites originally living in Palestine would later go to Egypt and eventually depart from it. That concludes a brief introduction to Genesis.